What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna be trying new makeup, starting with the Fenty Soft Lit Foundation, the Hourglass Pressed Powder. Some makeup is not new, but new to me. Very excited to try this Dior palette out and compare the pink shade to the Dior Maximizer highlighter in the shade Rosy. I want to see how these two look side by side. Also been hearing a lot about this Rare Beauty brow gel. I have some very unruly brow hairs. RMS bronzer. I went to Sephora today to pick up the foundation. I have it in the shade 190. Let's see what the claims are. This is a longwear medium coverage foundation that gives golden hour glow. It's supposed to be lightweight, waterproof, and what they're going for here is a radiant finish. It says that it is a notch above natural luminosity in a bottle. The shade is pretty perfect for me. So it being so radiant and all, let's hope it doesn't look greasy, which is exactly what they say, that it won't look greasy, it'll resist sweat, humidity, and transfer, that it resists oxidation. All right, so on one side, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it with my sponge, and let's see if we really get a medium coverage. It should do a good job at covering my melasma here. The shade range is unbelievable. 50 shades. 190 was the best match. It's described as a light medium with warm undertones. I see what they mean by luminous. I thought it was gonna be even more radiant though. It's sitting really nice on the skin, and I didn't use a primer. I had just put on some moisturizer, so I started off with skin that was hydrated. This is sitting really, really nice. And it's not making my large pore area look terrible. Actually, it looks great. It looks just like it does when I'm not wearing any makeup. Would I say that this is blurring? No. Does it claim to be blurring? Nope. The word blurring does not appear anywhere. It's supposed to be a buildable formula that delivers a smooth, comfortable second skin feel. And I do see that. The finish is really nice because it looks like I'm just wearing a light moisturizer. That's the kind of radiance of luminosity that I am seeing. That's how I can best describe it. Not like I'm wearing, you know, a sunscreen. That's what I thought. I thought that the finish was going to be the sort of shine that you get when you put SPF on, that it looks pretty greasy. And I was fully expecting to have to powder it down, to tame the radiance. I don't know why, but I thought that they were gonna go overboard, maybe because there's a lot of products that have come out that sit more on the dewy side. It's such a popular term in makeup, glowy and dewy, that a lot of products that are coming out, I'd say, are overdoing it. I'm noticing that it is very lightweight too. Yeah, it feels very thin. I'm gonna build it up a little bit here on those spots. Let's see how much coverage we can get out of this foundation without it looking heavy or cakey. So I'm just gonna tap, because I don't wanna swipe the product and move it around. I want the coverage to stay where I put it. So let's do like that. And actually with my finger, I'm just gonna tap it. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. My concern with this foundation is it gonna get too oily, too greasy looking in a few hours? I would love to know if you have an oily skin type and you have tried it. What did you think? Maybe you can mitigate the shine by applying a mattifying primer underneath, or just a powder on top. Again, my skin type is normal to dry, so if I end up seeing a lot of shine in a few hours, then you know that oily skin types for sure are gonna have shine issues with this. The finish, it looks very natural, super, super natural. The bottle feels nice. It's a glass bottle. It feels weighty. So it's a pretty bottle. And I think that the price is good. It's $40. The price is in line with other foundations at Sephora. Now, I did a detailed 2 full day wear test of the Hourglass pressed powder. We are working on editing it. Should be up in about 3 days. The one thing that I forgot to do was to set my eyes like Hourglass recommends, you set them, which is with a brush. I set them using the puff, and they looked heavy. I was not a fan. So today I plan to set my concealer. This is not new. It's my milk concealer. I want to set my concealer, yeah, with this powder, but with a brush. I was so far, I am not a fan of this powder, especially it coming from Hourglass, a brand that makes incredible powders. I found that it blurred just as much as the Huda powder or the Givenchy, but it did not resist creasing. Check out that video for more details. All right, so concealer is blended. Let's make sure there are no creases. Moment of truth. I'm gonna grab my Sigma F67 Skin Perfector brush. This is one of the brushes that I like to use to set my under eyes because it has a pointy shape, which makes it easy to get in there with it. Buff out the creases. There we go. I don't think that one layer is gonna do it, so I'm gonna do 2 layers on, but it might. I don't know if 1 layer of the powder is enough to prevent it from creasing. So on this side, I will do 2 layers. I truly complicate my life sometimes. Okay, here we go. So first layer, and never mind what I was saying about complicating my life. It would be ridiculous for me to complain at all about anything about this job that I've chosen because I love it. So rewind, no complaints from me. So 2 layers. I just have to write it down so I don't forget which side has the 2 layers of powder. Let me show you what the under eyes look like. It looks creased up already, the diagonal lines right here in the inner corners, and the under eye just looks older than it really is. So based on what I'm seeing here, I can tell you, do not try to build up the powder on your under eyes. Stick to 1 layer of powder. That's it. Foundation is still looking good. We'll see if it starts to crease. Yeah, I'm noticing that it's starting to gather on my lines here. And I double checked online to see if this was self-setting. It doesn't say anything about being self-setting, so I will go ahead and set it with some powder. Again, we're gonna keep testing the Hourglass pressed powder, and I'm gonna use a regular black puff, not the one that it comes with. Let's set those lines, and I am going to set right here next to my nose and right here middle of the forehead and chin. So the T-zone. All right, let's move on to this Dior palette. I am so excited about it. I think that this was launched about 4 or 5 years ago, and makeup artists love it. They consider it a must-have, and I've been holding off on it. I've had it in my cart. I finally pulled the trigger in the most recent Sephora sale. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna compare the pink shade on one cheek and the liquid highlighter on the other cheek. Let's start applying the rosy shade. And you see that it has a lot of pigment. It has good pigment on my skin tone. This is officially my favorite. If you saw the video where I reviewed all the shades of this highlighter at the end, I tried to narrow it down, and I narrowed it down to 3 shades. It's really hard to choose, but if I had to choose only one, now that I've had time to play around with them, I would say that this one's my favorite. But the others are gorgeous as well. Okay, so this is what the highlighter looks like. Now I'm going in with a Rephr 04, and let's see how this looks. I'm expecting it to look very similar to the other cheek, and it's not similar at all. This is more like a lilac pink than a rosy pink. It's very, very different. Yeah. Well, now we know. However, I bet you that it's gonna look nice on my eyes. Yeah, I'm happy that it does look good on my eyes, because that means that hopefully I wanna be able to use all 4 shades. I am going to pick up this bronze color and use it as my crease color. So I'm gonna concentrate it here on the outer third. And then sweep it across. Yes, this I like. Very pretty. I'm gonna bring it here on my lower lash line. All right, I'm very happy with that. I think the eyes look very nice. I like the shimmer because it's not too much shimmer, but it gives you a nice glowy, a nice radiance, I would say. If you're going for that radiant, luminous look without glitter, so far I cannot see any glitter. Now let's even out the cheeks. Let's put Rosy on this side. Hopefully it won't complain since we're putting it on top of powder. Hold on, let me grab a brush. Yes, this is the brush I like to use for this. It's the Sigma Contour / Blush Brush F53. There we go. I like it because it's wispy and it seems like the product is not getting trapped. Like the brush is not swallowing the product. Don't get me wrong, it is going to soak up a little bit of the product. So ideally, you know, just tap it with your fingers. You're gonna get just as nice of a finish and you're not gonna waste product. All right, I did another big dot on both sides. I am bringing the blush up here to the temple, keeping it high for that, as they say, lifted effect. If you tell me that I'm gonna get a lifted effect, I'm gonna do it. And I know what I want to do. The same sponge that I used to apply my foundation, I am going to run it here along the edge of the blush, just to make sure that everything is seamless and we don't see a line going from the foundation to the blush. Let's look at the under eye, shall we? The side where I put the 2 layers of powders is slightly more creasy. So based on today's application, I don't recommend it for the under eyes unless you have 0 under eye concerns. The foundation is creasing already on the smile lines. Let's do some eyeliner. I'm gonna use Makeup by Mario in the Perfect Brown. I want something pretty soft. So I will go ahead and blend it not blend it, smudge it. The brush that it comes with on the other end did work out for me last time I used it. So I am going to attempt to use it again. Let's warm up the pencil first because it's a little tuggy. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we take the brush side and I am softening that line. I think I'm gonna need an angled brush to pull out a little bit of a wing because otherwise this brush is just not, the bristles are kind of too open. I'm gonna take this Delium Tools number 762 and use that fine point much better to create the wing. I am missing an inner corner highlight. I'm taking this white color here. Let's see how much impact it gives us. Not as much as I thought it would. Okay, I like it. Yes. I thought that it was gonna be more beamy, a lot more reflective. Just looking at it in the pan, that's the feeling that it gave me. But it's actually more on the subtle side, which I really like, because you can still see that pop of light here. It still does the job of an inner corner highlight. The highlight is there, but it's not overpowering. Yeah, it's not overpowering the rest of the eye makeup. It's kind of just complementing it. Okay, let's try the gold one now, and I'm gonna go in with my finger because I'm gonna use this. This doesn't look like it's gonna be incredibly beamy either. Let's see here. Some in the middle of the lid. Oh, it looks beautiful. Again, it does give me that highlight, but I'm not seeing a stripe. So let's put it on this side. Love it. I love it. Yeah, I really love it. I thought they were gonna be super reflective, very intense, and they're not. They give you that pretty radiance, that shimmer, but there's no glitter and you don't see stripes, different stripes of light. It's time for mascara, but let me give you some context. I really like tubing mascaras because they come off so easily with water. The little tubes that encase your lash just kind of slide out with water. So I'm always open to, and I'm looking for my scissors. So I'm always open to trying new mascaras. I have the Thrive Tubing Mascara and the Tower 28 one, and they're both fantastic. And now I have a cute little sample of the one from Tarte. So that's what we're gonna use today. Since I just opened this one for the very first time, the formula is going to feel particularly wet. I'm not gonna get to know it fully until I've used it a few times and the formula has dried down a little bit, dried down. So far, it looks natural. It's not clumping up. It's not looking globby. It's giving me a little bit of length, not a ton of volume. Okay, so now we're moving to the brows. Let me introduce you to the Rebel hairs, brow hairs. You see this one right here that is just pointing down? Very difficult to get it to do what I want. And you see something similar on this side. These short hairs that are pointing down, here we just have one, I think. It's mostly this one. Right now there's only one that I'm dealing with. Long story short, I've heard that this Rare Beauty brow gel is strong. Let's see if it can tame those hairs. So first, let's run it through this part and there should be no problem. Okay, I'm getting to the problem child. Yeah, right. Really? I'm seeing it. Oh, I was gonna say I'm seeing it, but I don't believe it. I knew it. You see how it seemed to be stuck to my skin, doing the right thing. And then I said, nope, I don't like this. And it went back down. What I need to do here is to saturate that hair. So I'm gonna run the brow gel the other way and get that specific hair, especially fully saturated. Okay, but I'm seeing a little white specks, little white flecks. Okay, now, oh no, it was stuck again for a second. It's pointing down now. Is it stuck? No, it doesn't want to stick. It's not doing it. Come on. If I have to put this much effort into it, then it's a no-go for me. No, I'm not impressed. That's too bad. All right, let's move on to the next step because you guys are probably like, all right, we get the point. Keep it moving along, Fabi. I've used this bronzer from RMS. I have it in the shade Malibu Muse. The first time I tried it, I was like, oh man, I really messed up. I should have gotten the next shade up, shade deeper, because I didn't think that this one really, that it showed up. It didn't appear to be showing up as much as I would have liked to. And then I tried it again the other day on bare skin, and it does show. Like right now, I'm not really seeing much of it, but patience, my friend, and just keep sweeping it on, because the color that develops has the right amount of warmth, meaning that it doesn't look orange. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this smaller brush. Let's see if I can get more pigment payoff. What I was saying is that it has just the right amount of warmth. The next shade up is more neutral. So I like having a bronzer that gives me true warmth. There's times that I just want to go more neutral, but this is always flattering, right? How can you go wrong with a bronzer that gives you that natural looking warmth, especially with the finish of the RMS powders? Well, it seems to be the same luminous finish, the bronzer, as the blushes. And by luminous, no, I mean there's zero glitter, there's zero shimmer. It's just a soft, flattering, even office appropriate kind of glow and radiance. Subtle. I wish that it had more pigment payoff on me, actually. Maybe if I try with a more dense brush. I'm looking at, how about rougher number 24. So a denser brush, because this one is quite floppy and airy. The bristles are not as densely packed as they are right here. Okay, so let's do it on the forehead. Yeah. Okay, so the brush matters. If you want to build it up slowly, use a brush that is not as not very dense. Also notice how the bristles are longer. Here you have shorter bristles, so they're kind of like, they're stocky, they're stubby, and they just grab onto the pigment. Look, yeah, look at that. All right. Yes, tools matter. Tools do matter when it comes to application and getting the desired result and finish. Yeah, now I'm seeing the pigment develop a lot faster. Let's do a little bit on the nose here. Okay, let's just pay attention to the nose. Maybe I should move on to the next step, right? Am I doing one of those things where I keep go? Oh, look at that. That's actually a lot of pigment right here. That I'm gonna give it a little bit of a blend with this brush because it's a lot. Okay, so I am getting the payoff that I want. Fantastic. All right, look at that. Very pretty color. I look naturally tanned and radiant. All right, I think we're gonna leave it there. No, the lips. What am I doing for lips? I'm gonna do my latest go-to, which is Pat McGrath lip liner in the shade Brown Nouveau and House Labs in the shade Fig. And I'm just gonna blur that lip liner a little bit. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, I'm in the mood for soft definition. And then this lip glaze, which I find very, very nourishing. You know how there's lip glosses or lip oils that you take them off and your lips don't feel hydrated? I want a product that is not only pretty, that is super comfortable when it's on, and that when I take it off, my lips feel renewed and hydrated. And yeah, this is my latest go-to. Not too sticky, but it still envelops. It coats your lips. It's thick enough that it doesn't disappear right away, but it's not so thick that, look, it's not super thick. Big fan of this formula. That's it. That is it. All right, what did you think? Foundation, let me tell you what's going on with the foundation. Okay, I do have some initial thoughts regarding the foundation. I am ecstatic at how it looks here in my inner cheeks where I have dilated pores and texture. A lot of foundations emphasize the texture there, and the actual skin, they make it look, yeah, drier. My skin is looking supple. That is the word that is coming to mind. The foundation is it's hydrating my skin without the shine. Yeah, without the shine. I'll have to do some full day wear tests to be absolutely sure, but very excited. Very excited about this foundation. Not so excited about the Hourglass Powder. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.